Good morning everyone and welcome at my channel. This is Marta here and I'm back with another tutorial for you. Before I actually jump into the video, I just want to say a huge thank you for those of you who were watching my other tutorial when I was showing you how I made these beautiful cards. I also wish to say a huge thank you for all those amazing comments you left me under the link which I post on the card making forum. Thank you so much. Before we start, I just want to quickly show you how am I tying a bow because one of you were asking me about that. Hi Linda, this part is especially for you and thank you so much for your lovely comment and kind words. I am making a loop around my index finger, holding it with a thumb and middle finger. Then I'm making a smaller loop around my middle finger and I am putting the rest of the ribbon through the small loop. And then I'm putting my thumbs into the loops and trying to adjust the size of the ribbon. I'll show you this once again. So as you can see, I'm making one loop around my index finger. Then I'm making a smaller one around the middle finger and I'm trying to put through the rest of the ribbon. And once it's there, I am putting my thumbs through the loops and pull in all four directions. Now going back to my video, I've made a set of cards which I will be giving to someone as a present. Because it's a gift, I want to make sure it's packed nicely. So I came up with idea to make a box. And unfortunately, when I was putting it through, I realized that I didn't took a proper measurement. I only measured the card and I forgot the envelopes for the cards will be a slightly bigger. So because I have to do this box again, I thought I'm just gonna film it and walk you through the process because maybe some of you would like to know how am I putting those boxes, which are quite handy, especially for now Christmas time coming and we will be giving some card sets to other people as a present. Before I start cutting a paper, I like to prepare myself a sketch. This helps me to make sure I'm putting my measurements right. What I like to do for having a box, I'd like to put a double flaps. That way I'm getting this finished nice edge and it gives it more professional look. Besides, the box is much more steadier and it's just hold on nicely. So usually at my craft studio, I'm using the paper which is SR A2 size, which is quite big in a size because it has 450 millimeters by 640. I know that not all of you have this size paper, so for this particular project I'm just gonna use a cardstock which is A3 size, which is 297 millimeters by 420. And this is around 11 3/4 inch by 16.5 inch. So knowing that, I will have to plan my box so I will have enough space for a paper. So first thing I'm gonna do, I will be taking my card and envelope and check what's the size. So as you can see, the envelope for A5 size card, it's a wee bit bigger. So what I'm needing for a base, it's my box needs to be a 6.5 inch wide. And knowing that the paper size is 11 3/4, that gives me a 5 1/4 room for making my flaps. Because 5 1/4, it's not really easy to divide by 4, I'm just gonna stick to a 5 inch. So 5 inch divided by 4, it is 1 inch and 1/4. And this is gonna be the height of my box. This is how high the box is. So knowing that, I'll need to make sure that the gift and card sets I'm preparing will be no higher in dimension than 1 inch and 1/4. So 6.5 inch plus 5, it's 11.5 inch. And this is the width I need to cut my paper. Now we're just gonna check the other measurement. So I know the envelope is 9 inch long. So I'm just gonna leave 1/4 of an inch to give it a little bit extra room for wiggle. So I'm writing down 1.25 inch. This plus 5 inches I'm needing for those flaps, it will give me a 14.25 of the inch. So now I know the exact measurements. I know that I need to cut myself a piece of paper which is 11.5 inch by 14.25 of the inch. And this is what's gonna be the base of my box. Because the top part of the box needs to be a hair inch bigger so you could be easily close the box, I like to add 1/8 of the inch to the measurement. So I'm adding this to the size of the paper I need to cut, and I know that next part it needs to be 11 of the inch by 11 5/8 of the inch by 14 3/8 of the inch. And this is the size I need to cut down the top part. So I'm getting myself ready 2 pieces of paper, which I already cut here. And as you can see, one is slightly bigger than the other one. I'm starting from a smaller part, and all I'm doing is I need to make 2 creases of 1 1/4 each from each of the 4 sides of the card. And once all 4 sides will be creased, I'm just gonna use my scissors and do a little bit cutting. Once I have all 4 sides scored, I will be doing a little bit cutting. Before I do so, I'm taking a pencil and I'm doing a couple marks to make sure I'm not gonna cut those flaps away. I like to put a little line so I know which side it stay intact. Now I'm taking the scissors and I'm cutting along those score lines. And once I have everything cutted out, I can start folding and creasing the edges using my bone folder. I haven't done it before the cutting because I know that it's better to leave this unfold before the cutting because that gives you a nicer edge. Once it's all been forced and all edges will be nicely creased, I will start assemble my box. To adhere my box, I'm using double-sided tape. I prefer it over the liquid adhesive because it sticks instantly and it doesn't contain any moisture which could warp your paper. However, you can still use any type of glue you prefer, even like a Pritt stick, it will still do its job. Now I'm putting a double-sided tape on each of those 4 edges. And once it's all there, I'm start gluing it. I like to start from those sides which contains the flap. So this is the first 2 sides I'm just sticking on together. I forgot to do before starting assembling my box is to cut the sides of the flaps. This makes putting the box together easier. And now the base of the box is ready. I'm just gonna quickly check if everything fits there nicely, and then I will start assembling the lid of the box. I am following exactly the same steps as I did to assemble the base of the box. just taken my ruler and I am putting a pencil mark in the middle of the flap. So this is the lid of the box ready. I'm just checking if it's fit nicely, and the last thing I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna take my circle punch and I'm just gonna punch a half of a circle on this pencil mark. This way I'm gonna have this nice professional finished look of the box. And now my box is complete. I wish to say a huge thank you to everyone who stayed till the end of this video. Thank you so much for being here for me. And I hope this tutorial brings you some value. I wish to say thank you to everyone who subscribed to my channel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave me a comment below. You can also leave me a comment with the link to your own YouTube channel. I would love to check and see what beautiful creation you are coming with. Thank you once again. I'm sending you my love, Marta.